Thanks, Austin.
Hi, Jiggly. Thank you so much for
Hi.
doing this. First, an amazing job the other night because I watched your I Don't Want to Be No Cinderella, like that performance. It was so good. I loved it. But we have to talk about Translation Season 2. So to start off, what does it mean to you to be a part of a show like Translation, and what initially drew you into joining it?
Well, Translation was created by me and Peppermint and the girls. We actually created the show because we wanted to do a talk show, and we didn't know exactly, like, you know, but it is our baby. And I remember when I came up with the idea, and I was like, I was talking to Peppermint about it. Peppermint obviously said yes, and then I spoke to Carmen. And I was kind of worried because I was like, I don't know if how Carmen would feel about joining something that has something to do with Drag Race, but not necessarily. So I was like, I mean, it's not. I told her, I was like, it's not Drag Race, but the only thing that connects us is because we were all on Drag Race
Yeah.
and we're all trans girls from the show. So Carmen was like, okay, I'm game. And then we were looking for the fourth person, and the only other person I could think of was my sis Kylie. And at the time, Kylie was very shy. So I was like, I don't know if Kylie wants to do this. And Kylie was very game. And then come to realize while we were birthing the show, the four of us are very different.
Mm.
Four different voices, four different personalities, and obviously four different ethnic backgrounds on top of that. So it was kind of just like the perfect way to do it. And yeah, and it everybody gelled, everybody, the chemistry was right, everybody wanted to work, everybody was just like such in good spirits for it. So the first season, as cute as it was, because it was very, plain Jane, the little table, we wanted our little The View moment. And we and then thankfully season two came and we were granted some a set. Thankfully, it looked so much better.
Yeah, yeah. Come up. Um, I wanted to ask too, for both season one and season two of Translation, which episode had your favorite topic that you got to discuss?
For me, it was pageantry because I'm obsessed
Mm.
with Miss Universe. So it was like something that it was like the one episode that I was like, we have to do it. And I didn't even realize coming to, on top of that, how kismet was it that when the announcement of the new owner of the Miss Universe franchise is a trans woman, bitch.
Yeah,
And it came out on like it came out the week the episode aired. We didn't even know if that was happening. So to me, that is the world working its magic. So I was like, yes, thank you.
it was meant to be. That was a magical week. The panel of women on the show is so spectacular. So, also, how has season two kind of expanded upon your relationship with your co-host, and what has it been like being able to share any and receive each other's experiences on the show?
Okay, so in the first season, I think we were very I don't want to say treading lightly around each other because we didn't know. I mean, we all have relationships with each other, like not as a group, but like individually.
Mhm.
So I don't think we knew how to navigate around talking to each other in a setting like this. But I think in season two, if we didn't agree with each other, we let each other know. I know I
Right.
don't agree with that. But I think it's and also I think it's also the way we also grew up. A lot has happened within the year we filmed the first season of Translation to season two. I think right I think I if I'm not mistaken, we just finished filming All Stars. Me and Kylie
Okay.
just finished filming All Stars when we did season one of Translation. So we were one exhausted. I mean, she was really exhausted. I was only there for a second. But like we just finished that. Carmen was doing something else too, and Peppermint was just finishing Call Me Mother, or so we were all in different areas. Season two came. We have all have other experiences. Like now I'm a judge on Philippines. So it was just like we were all at a different place in life. So it was very different. And we were I think that our growth shows in season two. Because even in our opinions, there were a lot more very, very, very opinionated
Here's what
in
I
this
have to say.
season. Yeah, and but the thing is like we though we never I don't think we cut each other off. We let each other speak. We wanted to hear our voices and let our platforms be raised without stepping over another woman.
No, I will say it feels so much more inviting and warm than like The View. I feel very comforted on this show compared to something like The View, so I definitely agree. I also want to say you have such words of wisdom to say on the show. So as someone who is constantly trying to work on public speaking myself, how would you say you first got comfortable with public speaking and being able to share your opinion with the world?
Actually, that I think what for me, like my brother calls it code switching,
Mm,
but I feel like I don't think I'm code switching. I feel like when I'm at a space where I have to present myself and speak from the heart, it's completely different than when I'm with my own girls.
mm,
So I just want people to understand that when you speak, you have to have poise and it has to have substance.
yeah,
And I just know the importance of my voice and my platform, even more so now than before. So that's why people are like, oh, there's so much growth from you since season four. I'm like, yeah, because season four, I didn't know that being on television, you ended up with a platform. You ended up
mm,
with your own little soapbox. I didn't know that. I thought that I never stepped into this world of in this industry wanting to be an activist or anything like that. That Peppermint has that hands down, like locked,
yeah.
and she knows that she is the one for that. I just feel like when it comes to me, I if I'm passionate about something, I will speak on it. I will do my research. I mean, that's just the kind of person I am. And I think that most people should do that. Like if you're very passionate about something, public speaking or not, and if you want to use your voice, you have to like let it be heard, but it has to be heard with substance. So you just gotta tweak things around
Yeah.
and learn how to speak to people.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of using your platform, something I love that you said on the first episode, I have the quote. It's realistically, sex work is the oldest occupation in the world, which true, facts.
It
Um,
is one of the oldest occupations in the world.
yeah, literally.
Come on.
So I wanted to ask, do you think the conversation around sex work has become increasingly destigmatized over the years, or do you think there is still a lot more to be done regarding the narrative of sex work in the media?
There's still I feel like there's still a lot that needs to be done because I think it's still very stigmatized. I wish people would understand that sometimes survival sex work it's not for everyone. It isn't for everyone. It is not an easy job. It is not for the faint of heart. Don't let television fool you or what it looks like because that is not what it is. It is super glamorized on television, but in real life, that's not what they look like. It is Lord, it is not what they look like. But um, I want people to realize that people do things to survive, and you cannot fault people for how they choose to survive. Mainly when opportunities aren't given to them. Opportunities don't always come to everyone. So if you do what you have to do to survive in this world, and you cannot fault people for how they choose to survive in this world. And and to be honest, I don't think anyone should judge anyone for how they choose to survive because opportunities you have aren't the same opportunities that are given to me. and vice versa.
Yeah. I think perfectly said. Um, and then speaking of like other moments on the show, either funny or serious, what is a favorite memory or moment from filming this new season that has stuck with you the most?
I know Kylie's story of her boob going down to her. I was like, and then the fact that she said exactly what pageant it was, she just didn't say the year.
I know. I was typing it too on YouTube. I was like, let me see if I can.
Like, Kylie, you just gave everybody basically 80% of the story.
I know. It was so good.
But I think that was really, really funny. And I don't think there was any like drama. No. But we were very opinionated when it came to transitioning
Mm,
at the age of what at what age should we transition. Like
mm.
we all had very different ideas. So I mean, but we all make the crazy part is we all had a point.
Mhm.
It's just different people are, and that's the main issue that we also did talk about is there is no studies on transitioning because everybody transitions at and everybody has an epiphany of their truth in different stages in life. Some people take longer to figure out who they are. Some people knew from the very beginning. So it's just you just don't know.
Yeah. What is one topic you haven't covered yet that you would like to see covered for a potential third season?
Um, I think relationships
Mm,
and how trans people navigate in relationships and how I feel like sometimes like how I feel like certain I don't know if I'm wrong and I hope I'm wrong. I hope that I'm wrong that trans men have it easier than trans women when it comes to dating.
mm,
Uh but I just feel like dating and relationships as trans people is very difficult because of the stigma and all the whatever else that's going on in the world.
I know. I would love to see that table talk. I think that's a great idea. And also another question for a potential third season is who is someone you'd maybe like to see join the translation panel as a special guest in the future?
I would love for Carrie.
Yes, 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 yes.
Actually, any of my sisters, mainly the season 14 girls, because I think the season 14 girls have a very distinct and different
Experience.
way of how they transition. Because I think like as much as I like people assume that it's so much easier now. No, it's not. I think the girls just had an opportunity and they were able to express who they are on the show differently than any of the other girls did that's come before them. I would love to have Monica come on the show because she was also one of the pioneers in the trans movement that is Drag Race, the pioneers of the trans movement in Drag Race because Monica came out on the show.
Mhm.
She let the world know on the show who she is. And then so did Peppermint. Like so I feel like those are the important voices that need to be heard that haven't been given the opportunity to. LaShawn, I would love to LaShawn to get her moment. Mainly because we had such a very crazy moment on Drag Race. I feel like it would be perfect to have LaShawn on the show. Kenya is also one because
Yes.
she comes from Puerto Rico, and I would love to know more about the trans community in Puerto Rico and
Mhm.
how they deal with things and what they're going through out there with all the political and like issues that are going on in Puerto Rico itself. So there's so many different queens I would love to come. I would love all my sisters to come and join and have a seat and be guests on the show. I think they all have things to say and they all have opinions that need to be said.
I love it. Connecting back to Drag Race too, there's like a new challenge that they've recently been doing, the Pink Table Talk, and it reminds me a lot of translation in some ways. So, I wanted to ask, is this a challenge you'd like to see on the show more often?
Yes, yes,
Mhm.
yes, 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 yes. I thought actually like when I saw that, we were already birthing the situation.
Yeah.
And well, because I was like, Kylie, that's why Kylie was like, oh, I'm down, I'll do it. Because she already did it.
Yeah.
And I didn't even know that they did that on Drag Race, obviously, because I didn't make it that far. But it was nice to see that because I get Drag Race is always, let's do funny, let's
Mhm.
do, but it's nice for them to touch on some on things that are sometimes serious because these are things that are also happening in mainstream media where we need to have our voices to be heard. And it's not always about humor. Sometimes we need to take things seriously and have a real serious conversation that are happening in our community. So it was nice to see that Drag Race did that, and I would love to see more of it.
Yeah, I agree. That was one of my favorite challenges they've done recently. It was so good.
Yes. Well, I mean, what did Kylie say? Don't let the hurt child make decisions for the grown-up you.
Yeah,
What?
I literally
Like,
put that like on my wall. It was so good. It
it was
was-
so good. And we find out things about all our other sisters too. What I found out about Akira, you like that she used to be
Mhm.
transitioning and then she stopped because she realized I would love to actually have a real conversation with Akira and interview her about that because I think that's important too. There are people who feel like, and that's why I think we're like when like the transitioning as a child or whatever, this is exactly why I think, Carmen's point made sense. And,
Yeah.
we all had different point of views that actually make sense and wish we could expand more than on a 30-minute talk show. It's just like, ugh.
I love it. Aside from translation too, you, Sonique, and Peppermint also recently had a beautiful photo shoot of VH1's like LGBTQ History Month, alongside other trans drag race legends. So what was that experience for the three of you like?
It was so much fun. It was also very, very crazy because we were all like, I literally just flew in the day before from the Philippines because of the premiere.
Oh yeah.
So I flew in, I'm super jet lagged. I'm just like, oh God, I do not know how I made it through. I honestly don't know. But the energy in the room was so like it was so good. Like in the dressing room, Kiki was insane. Like Gigi, Aja, Nick, everyone. It was just so much fun. Like the energy was amazing. And it was like super supportive, just all the love. It was great. Ganja is like, I felt bad for Ganja because Ganja was like, everything was going wrong for Ganja that day. Like, she didn't check in yet. She was just like, she was like, poor thing. Like, I don't know what happened, but she couldn't check into her hotel yet. Her room wasn't ready. So she had to come straight to the photo shoot instead. I
Oh.
was like, oh, damn, poor girl.
Bless her. Okay, this question is from
But
a
she was
fan.
professional. And so she was like, fuck it, let's truck through it.
We love ganja. This question is from a fan. How hard was the transition from being a contestant on Drag Race to then becoming a full judge on Drag Race Philippines?
Very difficult. Well, because I think I knew going in the hard work that goes into being a contestant.
Mm.
So I never wanted to be malicious or just be a bitch. Like I didn't want to be that bitch judge. I wanted to be very fair and very like I follow the rules of what. And that's the one thing is because as a contestant, I know the rules that go into all these challenges. So I'm like, you ain't gonna get by me with that dress, bitch. I know you didn't. I know you didn't make that here. That looked like it's a Forever 21 dress. What is that? So like things like that. But hey, I think it was a fair judge.
No, I think you're absolutely killed it. This is the final question I have for you, and
Sure.
I thought I would end it on a silly note. So I'm speaking to Peppermint in a couple hours from now. So I wanted to ask, is there anything you'd like me to tell her for you, or is there anything you'd like me to ask her?
Um. Then okay, if she does another Janet Jackson tribute, can we do You Want This and I Want to Be MC Light?
I love amazing question. Thank you so much.
I
And
love
thank you
you.
so much for speaking with me today. I'm
Thank
sending
you,
nothing but
babe.
positive energy your way.
You too.
Thank you. Thank
Bye.
you.